Welcome everyone. My name is Caitlin and I'm a Community Navigator for Illinois Legal Aid Online. Today I'm going to tell you about the new Illinois Rental Payment Program, also known as ILRPP. To begin, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give you any legal advice or tell you what to do, but I can tell you what the program is, how to apply, and what to expect when you do apply. So the purpose of the program is to help both landlords and tenants. It is meant to prevent tenants who are unable to pay rent because of COVID from being evicted, and to prevent landlords from going into foreclosure on their rental properties. The ILRPP often calls landlords housing providers, but I'm going to refer to them as landlords throughout the presentation today. Because this program is for landlords and tenants, they both must complete the application. This is a joint application process. Landlords must start the application, and if rent assistance is granted, the money is paid directly to the landlord, not the tenant. If you are a tenant and you want to apply for the program, make sure to talk to your landlord and ask them to apply. If you are a landlord and you want to apply, talk to your tenant and tell them you are applying and that they will need to complete the application as well. It is important to note that all the applications must be submitted through the Illinois Housing Development Authority's online portal. The portal is only open for 3 weeks it started May 17th, 2021, and it ends this upcoming June 7th, 2021. So you have to act fast. Landlords and tenants can apply for rent assistance that covers up to 12 months of back rent that is owed, starting in June 2020, and also up to 3 months of future rent through August 2021. So rent assistance is not guaranteed. All payments are based on what the tenant is in need of. The most anyone can get is up to $25,000 per rental unit. Again, not everyone who qualifies will get $25,000. It is based on your need and how much rent is owed. This is a grant, so it's important to note that the money received, no matter the amount, does not have to be paid back. In addition to having their back rent and future rent paid, there are other benefits for tenants. If the landlord receives rent payment through the program, the landlord must waive any fees and penalties related to the rent the tenant owes. The landlord also cannot start or continue evictions for the past due rent for the covered period. Not everyone will qualify, but to be eligible, the tenant's rental unit must be their primary home and it must be in Illinois. The tenant must have had a financial hardship or loss of income because of COVID. The tenant must be behind on rent for at least 30 days and at risk of homelessness or housing instability, which means that they may be close to homelessness or not able to find another safe or permanent housing situation. The households must have an annual income in 2020 that was at or below 80% of the area median income. Citizenship is not required to get rental assistance. The application will not ask for proof of citizenship. ILRPP is not a public charge benefit, which means that receiving money from this program will not affect an immigrant's ability to get a visa or a green card. The landlord must start the application by going to ilrpp.ihda.org. They will complete and submit Section 1 of the application. After that, the landlord will receive an email within 24 hours with instructions to complete Section 2. If the landlord does not receive an email, they should check their junk or spam folder in their email. If you are a landlord and have completed Section 2, make sure to tell your tenant to expect an email with instructions to fill out their part of the application. When filling out their part of the application, the landlord must provide 1, proof of ownership, 2, the property management agreement, 3, their SSN or ITIN number, 4, a signed lease, 5, proof of past due rent, and 6, payment information for how the check should be sent or deposited if the grant funds are received. After the landlord finishes their part of the application, the tenant will get an email with instructions to complete their part of the application. An application is not complete until the landlord and the tenant both complete their sections. After the portal closes, the tenant has until Monday, June 14th to complete their portion of the application their landlord started. So these are things that the tenant must provide. 1, a valid email address. 2, a government-issued ID. 3, proof of address, like a utility bill, but only if their address is different from what's on their ID. 4, proof of any benefits if they receive benefits like SNAP or Medicaid. And 5, proof of household income for 2020. Remember that completing an application does not automatically mean that you will get rental assistance. All program qualifications have to be met and all necessary documentation provided. If you need any help applying, there are housing support service organizations that are able to help you. You can call 866-454-3571 to be connected to one of them. The helpline is open starting May 17th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. They provide help in English and Spanish. So here are some common questions about the program. So, do tenants need a lease to apply? Landlords must put a current lease in their application if there is one. However, if a current lease is not available, you can still apply for rent assistance. The next question, what if my landlord does not apply? If you are a tenant, talk to your landlord and ask them if they are going to apply. If they don't know about the program, tell them about the program and ask them to go to www.ihda.org to learn more and to apply. Make sure that they have your correct email address. Be firm but polite with your landlord, be persistent, and do not wait for your landlord to follow up. Keep reminding your landlord to submit an application until you get the email saying that they completed the application. Housing support agencies are available to help if you still have questions about the process, and make sure to see the list of agencies at www.ihda.org or call the helpline number. They may also be able to help you talk to your landlord as well. Again, that number is 866-454-3571. So what if you talk to your landlord and your landlord still does not apply? If you're a tenant and you have talked to your landlord about the program, but they don't apply before the portal closes, there will be a short period of time when tenants will be able to start the application process. However, your landlord will still have to fill out their portion of the application. Landlords will have until Tuesday, July 6th to finish their portion of the application during the second portal period. How can I talk to my landlord if they do not want to apply for rental assistance at all? Remind your landlord that getting this money will help you both. Explain to them how you have been and will be a good tenant. Remind them how hard it can be to find a new tenant. If you know any other tenants in the building, talk to them about reaching out to the landlord too. See the list of agencies at, again, www.ihda.org, or call the helpline to find an agency that may be able to help you talk to your landlord. How can I check the status of my submitted application? After the tenant and landlord have both submitted their application, they will each get an application ID by email from DocuSign. Applicants can use this ID to check the status of their application at ilrpp.ihda.org/status. Application status updates will not be available immediately. When will I be notified if my application is approved for funding or is ineligible for funding? The IHDA expects to get a lot of applications for this program. Their goal is to notify applicants within 60 to 90 days. How will I be notified if my application is approved for funding or deemed ineligible for funding? All program communications, including notice of application approval or denial, will be sent to the email addresses on the application. Please make sure to check your email regularly. Can tenants be evicted while waiting for these funds? Most evictions are banned in Illinois through May 29, 2021. If you are a tenant, you must send a signed declaration to your landlord to be covered by the ban. There are other qualifications listed on the declaration. You can create the declaration and a letter to your landlord using rentervention.com. Be sure to keep a copy of your declaration and send it to your landlord by text, email, and certified mail with proof of delivery. You also should keep documentation to show how you sent it. If you haven't done a declaration, your landlord must give you a copy of the declaration form 5 days before giving you an eviction notice. Even if your landlord has already started an eviction case against you, they have to stop it once you give them the signed declaration. If you have any questions about this process or need help with your application, please refer to the list of organizations standing by to help at www.ihda.org. For additional help, please call the hotline at 1-866-454-3571 or 1-866-IL-HELP-1. This number is for the Illinois Housing Development Authority. Both landlords and tenants can call. You can find all the information in this presentation and more on illinoislegalaid.org. Go to your article called Get Up to $25,000 from the State of Illinois to Pay Rent at https://www.illinoislegalaid.org/ILRPP. You can also find a link to the rental assistance application on the post. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope this was helpful, and please leave any comments or concerns down in the comments below, but please not provide any personal information because, again, I am just providing legal information and no legal advice. If you need legal advice, please consult with a lawyer. Thank you.